Building and Restoration, and the Dana Law Group. Well, good, finally, Friday morning. It is finally Friday, and we're all better for it. This morning on Rim Country Forum, in our first half hour, as we always do, we have some very special people with us in the studio this morning. And before I tell you who it is, before I turn their microphones on, I'm going to give you a clue. And it goes basically something kind of sort of like this.
Is that as loud as you can make that?
It's like whippy.
With lips on loan from God, it's your hometown movie guys, -1 anyway. We have Tina and Andy with us in the studio this morning, talking to us about movies. And we've got actually State Senator Sylvia Allen coming in our second half hour this morning. But right now, we're just talking to the hometown movie guys. And how y'all doing this morning? You had a chance to get out there and see any movies?
Well, no, we're getting in and seeing movies.
Oh,
I'm watching a lot of stuff. And when you said special, I think we're your special needs guests.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but
Sure you were.
maybe we'll do it. We'll do a 2-hour version of the show someday. We'll have it be like Special Olympics or something. Anyhow, the bottom line is, Andy, I was talking to you before the show today. I, being sequestered at home quite a bit these days, had a chance to see a movie on online the other day, and we decided to watch it. And I thought, I've heard.
Unbelievable!
That's right. I saw a movie.
Inconceivable!
Yeah, but now, before you get too excited, once I tell you the name of the movie, you're all going to go, oh man. I saw The Legend of Tarzan.
What?
Yeah.
With whom?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, yeah. Who's not bad looking, but.
Margot Robbie. Oh, she's.
And the guy that played the lead role as Tarzan, who is he? I didn't recognize his face.
Andy?
Don't care.
Come on. Don't care.
Andy,
Some big muscular dude, I don't care. Anyway, after 2 hours or so of watching that movie, I was left thinking, I should have taken up knitting. I found that movie to be a little self-indulgent, and although there was some interesting cinematography, some good special effects, the maddest monkeys you're going to see anywhere,
Except for Wizard of Oz, right?
well, yeah, these weren't flying, but they were running fast. But I don't know. I just, I guess maybe I had my hopes up in the wrong direction there.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
Yeah. In a couple of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, have you all seen any movies?
Yeah, sure. Netflix and Prime, watching a lot of stuff.
I see Netflix. Their usage right now has gone through the roof with this home, isolation thing.
Yeah, I saw a great movie called Molly's Game, which is a true
that is a
story.
good movie.
Yes, Andy and I have both seen it.
Molly's Game.
And it's wonderful. It
You'd
has.
be shocked to find out I've never heard of that.
It has the great Jessica Chastain, who is just something to watch. I mean, you want to see Margot Robbie, but another version of something to watch. And the great Idris Elba, who is a British actor who has the perfect American accent. I was stunned.
He has a number of perfect American accents.
Yeah, he does. But this is more a little New York, and he does.
So he really picks up on dialects.
He does it really well.
Interesting.
It's a great movie and a true story.
It's about gambling.
Yes, it's about gambling and poker and corruption and the Russian mob.
And the name of the movie again was?
Molly's Game, on Netflix now.
And is this something you would highly recommend?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
How long ago was
Big
the movie
time.
made?
3-4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
Molly's Game.
yeah. And then another.
It's about Molly's Game is a poker game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She does an illegal, hosts an illegal.
Well, semi-illegal. I mean, she starts out legal and then she goes to the dark side, I think.
Luke.
Yeah, but it's a high stakes poker game in Los Angeles,
Interesting.
where they try to
And New York.
pluck money from.
And New York, because
Yeah.
then we get into the Russian mob.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's a movie for you to watch, Molly's
Yes.
Game.
And then,
But wait, there's more.
yes, Netflix also, Blood Father with Mel Gibson.
Really?
Now, anything with Mel Gibson, honestly, I would watch him read the phone book. But he is just, he has aged so perfectly because he's become a real character actor as well as a stone babe, which he was when he was in
The
Mad
formaldehyde
Max.
injections are doing well.
Oh man, and I love him, and this is such a good movie. I mean, when I saw this, and then there's also Get the Gringo, which is on Netflix. I mean, these are, everybody needs to watch these. Out there, this is a command, right, Andy?
Yeah.
We
And-
command you.
Get the Gringo is not about getting a person, is
No.
it?
No.
It's about getting,
Well, it is sort of,
about getting a pistol.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, how about you, Ed? You been watching many boob tube movies?
Yeah, as often as I can.
Right. What have you been watching lately?
Most recently, last night, I saw a movie that I do not recommend. But sometimes I take the hit so you don't have to.
That's kind of how I felt
This is-
about The Legend of Tarzan.
Oh.
This is why you listen to us, so you can save time.
Yeah, really.
Oh, they said that one sucks. Never mind.
Yep, yeah, I watched one last night, it's a science fiction movie, and you would think that this would be terrific, you know. This is the setup. A beautiful space alien comes to Earth and murders men by luring them to their doom. Sounds like Species, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes, and it has the beautiful Scarlett Johansson,
Mm.
who's,
Yeah,
Waka
not too
waka.
bad,
Yeah.
not too bad to look at.
yeah, she
Yeah.
plays the space alien that comes down and lures men to their deaths. And there's a lot of nudity in it. So you would think, just like the
Jeez.
planets align, but no, no.
But wait, there's less.
Yeah. This is one of those artsy-fartsy movies. It's described in the blurb as atmospheric, which means
Atmosphere.
no-
I love that.
no
yeah.
dialogue, and it doesn't make any sense.
Moody and stupid.
Yeah, moody and stupid. So,
And don't candy coat it for us. Tell us
yeah,
what you really
and,
think.
Hey, you know, this is why you have us on, so we can help people
That's
pick
right.
and choose,
So
especially when they are sequestered.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Patty and I watched this last night, and we keep looking at each other, and we're waiting for the good parts.
This is bound to get interesting soon.
Yeah, it's bound to get interesting soon, and no.
Wow.
Well, you know, that's really funny because my husband and I on Netflix, when you get streaming, Andy.
I don't have streaming.
I know you don't. You get the
I don't believe
DVDs.
it.
It goes
I don't
down to
believe
the
it. I've not seen any
mailbox.
reports that hell's gonna freeze over soon.
I know it, but you know, the streaming it allows you to be privy to, you can actually split your next Netflix viewing into, you know, Mark and Tina. We have our separate, you know, sections. Now we do crossover, but Mark will watch stuff. And he's so funny. He'll say, well, I can watch a 2-hour movie in 20 minutes because I know the parts to forward, fast forward through,
Yeah.
right? He says, you know, I'm a pro. You're the movie guy. I'm a pro.
Well, now, let's shift gears here. Instead of, and which is so easy to do, talking about, oh man, don't watch that movie, that one stinks. Andy, what's the one movie that you have watched more times than any other movie?
Jeez.
I think it's safe to say that would be The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element, yeah. I've watched that a few times. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
yeah.
what's her name? The lady that's always.
Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich or Jovovich.
she's
Oh, she's gorgeous.
kind of alluring,
Yeah, and
yeah.
Bruce Willis. Yes.
Yeah, I understood he
Yes.
was in that too.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Well, how about you, Tina? What
Oh, well,
movie have you
you
seen
know
more
what?
than any other?
Maybe Citizen Kane, but probably Chinatown. Chinatown.
Boy, those are two big
I
names.
mean, really, I just watched that. Well, maybe, I don't know, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because I
Oh,
did my
wow.
senior thesis on that
Gosh,
movie.
you've just named 3 movies that I've actually seen.
I know it, I know it.
I don't know, but I think, with my, most often watched single movie, it had to be with help from my kids growing up, and then my kids
What,
had.
Frozen?
My kids had kids. Let it go, yeah. So my kids had kids, and so we watched them all over again, but I believe that I quite literally have watched The Wizard of Oz almost 100 times. You know, and it's, I'm not really sure why, but I'm gonna blame it on the kids.
Well, of course, you know, this
The
is the
Postman.
kids. The
That's it.
Postman,
Oh, the Postman.
Don has seen
Yeah.
The Postman.
Right?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah. Now, just before I forget, I want to, I mean, we've got to acknowledge
Forget what?
a birthday.
Oh, okay.
Shakespeare had a birthday yesterday.
That's right. Also his
William.
death day.
Well, I don't know about his death day, but William Shakespeare. And
He died.
I want to
He
recommend.
died on his birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dirty trick.
What?
Yeah, that's what we were reading here on the air yesterday anyway, so
I
I'm assuming we had our information correct.
Yeah. Well, there's a great Shakespearean movie. There are a lot of them, but one of the lesser known but truly excellent is one called Looking for Richard with Al Pacino, Winona Ryder, Alec Baldwin, and a couple of other people. It was made, maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Right,
Super, super movie. I mean, that's one to find.
right. And the name again?
Looking for Richard.
Looking for
It is
Richard.
Al Pacino and his crew putting together a performance of Richard III, and they show the practice, you know, the reading of the scripts, the behind the scenes, and then the scenes of the play itself.
Mhm.
And Al Pacino playing Richard III is absolutely amazing, amazing. And if you think you don't like Shakespeare, think again. You'll love this movie.
I love it.
It's really, really good.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back.
What?
Believe it or not, got some bills to pay here.
What?
But, real quick before we were talking about the fact that according to the information we had here at the station, Shakespeare died on his birthday. Also, gotta just give an interesting shout out because I just find it fascinating. The pastor who married my wife and I back in 1979, 41 years ago, Noel Estegren, great pastor, very Christ-like guy. He was born on Easter and he died on Good Friday.
Oh, my word.
I thought that was
That's way cool.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
so
Thank you.
file that where you may. Noel Estegren, rest in peace, buddy. Hey, we got to take a fast break. Back with more on Rim Country Forum. I mean, not morons on Rim Country Forum, but back with more information on Rim Country Forum right after this.
What was the name of that movie with Richard Dreyfuss where he was playing an actor who was trying to do something off-Broadway, and the production, the director of the off-Broadway movie was trying to do King Richard as a humpback homosexual?
Oh, God. I don't even want to think about it. Yeah.
Well, the
Not
movie
sure I've ever
wasn't
even
so much
heard
about
of the
that.
term humpback
Well,
homosexual
actually,
before, but
Shakespeare took
somebody
a
went
lot
away.
of Shakespeare took a lot of liberties with Richard III.
Really?
There's a lot of untruth in the play. I mean, it's a great play, but there's a lot of, hey, dude, didn't happen. This didn't happen. This didn't happen. Yeah.
To make it up or not to make it up?
But
That is the question.
right?
What about the man from La Mancha?
Ooh, there you
What?
go. The man from La Mancha.
Man of La Mancha.
Man of
Yeah.
La Mancha
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that,
No, there's so many great Shakespearean ones. What was the one with Gwyneth Paltrow? With,
Shakespeare in Love.
oh,
Terrific movie.
I wept.
Did you see the Kenneth
power of attorney
Brock-
should be in place in order
Brock-
to avoid the
No,
time
Brock-
and expense of
version of
these documents
Much Ado About Nothing?
I did.
Let's talk about that. That was. that-
And-
I mean, that was
all areas of
a
estate
Shakespeare
planning
movie
and
that
take pride in
you
helping
could get the
families
jokes
make
and I mean
prepared
it was.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which were bawdy as hell. That's like
Oh, 10 seconds?
Yeah. And then he also did Richard, Henry the,
4440. That's
with the scene,
4440, or go online
Part one.
to
there's two,
danalawgroup.com.
right?
Welcome back to Rim Country Forum. Coming up on 19 minutes past the hour, 71 degrees right now at the Radio Ranch. And in our first half hour this morning, talking with our hometown movie guys, State Senator Sylvia Allen will be with us in our second half hour. But right now, talking movies. And, one of the things we've got to mention here real quick is if you've ever, been sitting there thinking to yourself, I'd really like to see what goes on there behind the scenes with these movie guys. It looks like a kind of a crazy time. Well, all you got to do is log on to YouTube, to the Don Klein channel, and Don, we make him sit back here in the corner behind me, and he videotapes this and posts it up to, again, the Don Klein channel on YouTube. So check it out. You'd be amazed some of the things that go on here
We
that you don't hear
cavort.
about on the radio. Now,
Actually, it's really interesting and fun.
It's fun.
I like to watch me being on the radio.
There you go.
Me too.
But enough with all this depth. So when it comes,
Shakespeare,
I want
Shakespeare.
to ask you all,
Shakespeare.
ask our hometown movie guys. We haven't had the theater open here, for a few weeks, but it'll be opening up again soon. And in the meantime, we've kind of been distracted from whatever is being released because nothing's being released. But what about this? Let me ask you this question, Andy. If you could take,
Okay,
I'm about to do it now. I'm starting to move my mouth. If you could pick any, dun, dun, dun. Anyway, if you could pick any movie and they would suddenly wave a magic wand and you are the star of that movie, what movie would you choose to be the big star in?
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Okay, so we're not going to ask you why. We'll just go on to Tina. Is there actually a movie called that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, no,
It's another one I've missed somehow.
Yeah, it's got a great cast too. Jeff Goldblum. It's about
Oh, it's really.
aliens
yeah.
come to Earth.
It's just
and
really
and
stupid.
They come to LA and they run into a bunch of Val gals.
Totally tubular.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Gosh, I don't know how I missed that one.
Jim Carrey. It's an early Jim Carrey, and he is just brilliant because he does virtually the whole thing is in his aspect of it is all in body language.
Right.
Of course.
And he's definitely one to turn that stuff on.
Yeah, and Wayman
Wait,
Damon Wayans.
Wayans, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of the fabulous Wayman brothers.
from In Living Color.
Yeah.
Wonderful show.
And they also did that movie where they both dressed up as white girls, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had a long career.
Yeah.
Another one of those LA stories.
He's white-faced,
Yeah.
he's racist.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So how about you, Tina? Pick any movie. What
Do you
would it be?
know, I was thinking about that, and there's lots of them, but
You gotta pick one.
okay, really? Okay, I'm gonna pick two.
We have rules here.
Haha. I'm gonna, Clint Eastwood in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Groucho Marx in Duck Soup.
Groucho Marx.
Totally. The man is brilliant.
Most
He is
ridiculous thing I ever heard.
Well, remember he said, I would never want to belong to a club that would have me as a member. And I would really want to be able to just deliver one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, he had a bunch of them, that's for sure.
yeah, oh, he was great, so.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
or
What about you, Don? Don?
I was just sitting here thinking about it. Han Solo, perhaps?
Han Solo.
Han
There you go. That's a good
Solo.
idea.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hey,
Just beware of that guy dressed all in black,
yeah.
though. I don't know. It's interesting that when it comes to movies that you'd like to be, I can think of a ton of them. The Passion of the Christ. Talk about being the biggest hero of all time.
Goodness.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of movies out there that I think would have been fascinating just to watch the filming of. Andy, you brought up what's his face, the comedian whose name suddenly just went out my left
Jim
ear.
Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
There's a guy who I think was typecast in a sense because of his just the physicality of his acting.
Manic behavior.
Yeah, and I read something just recently that he's thinking about getting into some more dramatic roles, and he's kind of faded from sight for a while, but I'd like to see him take on a real dramatic role. I don't know that I've ever seen him do anything like
It's
that.
kind of like what Robin Williams did, remember, when he was a comedian and then went into dramatic roles and did amazing.
And he used to get really, a little bent out of shape when people would ask him at live performances to do Mork for Mork.
Mhm.
And I remember seeing him at one point saying, that was just one act at one
Right.
time, let me have the rest of my life,
Right.
please. And
He had Tourette's. Did you know that?
Really?
Robin Williams actually had Tourette's. Yes, he was on the cover of Tourette's magazine way back in the day when he was first coming to prominence. And he was an only child, had a very lonely childhood, and listened to and watched Jonathan Winters, who was his
Jonathan
hero, and
Winters
that's
was-
who he modeled himself after.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were actually good friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And he did some really interesting
Oh.
dramatic roles
Yeah,
later on.
he did one called Insomnia. It's
Yes.
a murder mystery set in Alaska in the summertime, of course,
Yes.
when it doesn't get dark, hence the title.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we always said, when we watched that movie, why didn't you just put, an eye shade on, for Pete's sake? Couldn't sleep, right? It was like, dude, man, it was so unbelievable. Sorry.
There are, having been there are ways to cope with that situation.
There would have to be, yes.
And I'm failing to bring back the name into my head of the one movie that he starred in where he was the college professor.
Oh, Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah,
That was
that
another
was
good
so
one.
good, yeah.
Yeah. I've only seen that once. Maybe I should watch that again. It's
But
been a
you've
while.
seen it.
Yeah.
Jump back.
Well, everyone's out there in Radioland's got whiplash this morning. What, you watched a movie? Robin Williams actually was a bit of a hero of mine. I really liked it. I look back at Good Morning Vietnam
Yep.
and some of these really bigger than life characters that he played. And the fact that I didn't realize he had Tourette's.
Yeah.
I thought about yelling out something strangely there all of
He
a
also
sudden. I thought
had
that'd be
terrible depression.
Yes.
But he took on a lot of different roles and really did a very convincing job of everything he took on, from Orc to just about everything else down the road. I was
Yeah.
always really impressed with him.
Yeah.
And he seemed like I don't think it would be easy to find anyone that was more adept at improvisational, spontaneous humor. The guy was, his brain was really going fast. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I've always found that
Well, he
intriguing.
did wonderful Shakespearean takeoffs, on Dick Cavett. That was the first time I ever saw him, way back.
Wow, Dick Cavett, that does go back a ways.
That goes back, and this unknown person came on, put a handkerchief on his head with the four corners tied, and launched into a faux Shakespeare, which was jaw-dropping, just amazing. And Dick Cavett was like, whoa.
Yeah,
I
he was
was
kinda
thinking,
high
who is
energy.
this guy?
I think the first time, if you hadn't seen him before, some of his performances, you'd think, man, there's something ain't quite right about that
Yeah.
guy. But
Well,
he's
yeah.
actually
He had
hilarious.
Tourette's, but
Yeah.
he channeled it. He did a really good job.
And what a tragic life. I mean, he suffered from depression quite a bit,
Terrible.
and you would have never known that by the parts that he played.
Right, right. And just a plug for Shakespeare, another one, and I mean, we're just all over the map here today. But let's remember that the great Mel Gibson did Hamlet.
Ah,
And he did a super Hamlet.
Right.
Really good. I mean, very, oh my gosh, it's a heart-wrenching movie. Yeah, real good. I forget who played Ophelia in that. Do you remember?
Nope.
It might have been Winona Ryder, maybe.
Wow,
I'm not sure.
interesting choice.
Well, another one, in the break, we were talking about Shakespearean movies, and one of my faves is Much Ado About Nothing.
Yes.
And I don't know how many versions there have been of this, because the play actually is pretty old. But
You think?
Only a few hundred years, come on.
That's 500-600 years?
yeah, and would you pronounce the director's name for me?
I'm gonna have to spit on the microphone. Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, man, you're gonna have to wipe that off.
Yeah, I will.
But,
Yeah. No, and he's a great actor and a director. He directed
Yeah,
that one.
I have a handkerchief for you.
Don's got a handkerchief for you.
There was an early role of, shame on me.
This getting old ain't for sissies, Andy.
No,
Well, while you're thinking about that,
Yeah.
one last question, because we're just about out of time here. I'm expecting a call from Sylvia Allen any minute ago.
Be sure to look at the newspaper today and see my column, What to Watch While We're Waiting to Watch the Movies.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
really good. Oh, it was Helena Bonham Carter who played Ophelia.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yes, and Glenn Close played Gertrude. And she's the one who, remember, sleeps around on Hamlet's father with his uncle. Yeah. Oh,
Why, what a tangled web
I'm
we
telling
weave.
you, it's Shakespeare.
Yep.
Everybody needs to know that Shakespeare is as current today as he was 500 years ago.
Right.
And Denzel Washington.
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
In
Denzel.
Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay,
Right.
2 minutes left here. What about, Andy, if I'm asking you, the best actor or actress of all time?
Ah, please.
Ooh, best actor of all time? Boy, I don't know.
Daniel Day.
Richard
That was
Britton?
actually gonna be my opinion,
Yeah,
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I think probably Daniel Day-Lewis.
And we've talked about it many times where he really takes on the role of the part that he's playing, 24 hours a day while they're doing the filming.
And the
That's gotta be tough for his
wonderful
family.
thing about him is you never think it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
You know, there are lots of, Marie Chevalier, there's lots and lots of really terrific actors. But you always think of,
Well,
when
they're,
you see them,
they're stars.
Yeah, when you
as
see
well as
them,
actors, right.
when you see them, you think, oh yeah, look, there's a Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
But no, when you see Daniel Day-Lewis, you say, oh, look, there's a guy with points with his toe, or
The guy
there's,
that spent too much time in Kentucky.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, that was a terrific movie.
Oh,
But
man, Last of the Mohicans, one of my
Olivier
favorites.
was also, Laurence Olivier, let's give him
Yeah,
his
there you go.
due. He was a stage actor who made the transition.
Mhm.
And he was gorgeous, by the way.
Okay, if you say so.
If Andy's gonna get in, Earth Girls are easy.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good. Well, okay, and so I'm being handed notes here, and I've got things slowly figured out. So, do you have your mind made up finally, Tina, as far as?
I'd probably go with Daniel Day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of other people who are really excellent, but he does, well, and Meryl Streep, she folds herself into the roles.
Well, she sure does.
And, you know,
Julia and,
yeah,
Julie and Julia.
Julie and Julia,
Yeah.
and, but the one that she did about the concentration, Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's Choice. Oof.
Whew, man, I mean, that's incredible.
Wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
and she also did that one about being the Australian mother whose baby was stolen perhaps by the dingo.
I'm
And-
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, but she became unrecognizable just like Daniel Day. She's a shapeshifter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. We gotta take a break, and we're gonna come back in our second half hour. We're gonna be talking with Sylvia
We
Allen.
love you, Rim Country. Thank you.
And be sure to go online on YouTube to the Don Klein channel and check out all the behind the scenes frivolity that takes place here on Fridays.
In my column this week, I covered time travel movies.
Time travel movies.
Yeah.
So-
Nothing about zombies in there?
No!
Wow, that's a first.
Oh.
We'll be back with more on Rim Country Forum.